nicely. It's the Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. The Drew and Fuse Show. Yeah, they clean up nicely. Yeah.
What's up?
Party people, Daft Punk's in the building. We are back in black.
Back in black.
Dun-dun-dun.
What a great intro. Once again, I am Fusemania, and this is my lovely partner.
Dancing partner, if you've seen our recent posts.
Yeah, he also doubles as Jennifer Grey.
Drew Pierce from Long Beach, California. Beautiful Long Beach, California, where it is always nice, and we're in a drought because it never rains. But that leads to beautiful weather for me. So I guess my kid will suffer.
Hey, I don't actually really want to hear you complain about weather ever again on this show, okay? In fact, if I ever hear you complain about weather again, I'm quitting the show. There's 10. Come to Ohio.
I never complain. I never want to see the Four Seasons, but it's I don't complain. I'm okay.
Funny story real quick. Drew was here playing for Simo's wedding, and he's driving from like Cleveland to Cincinnati. And I get this phone call, and it's a panicked Drew Pierce, and he's like, dude, it's raining. Is this normal? It's like pouring down rain. Like, I don't know what to do. People are driving. Should I stop and pull over? And I'm like, this is normal rain here, Drew. You're just going to have to power through it and get to Cincinnati. This wedding needs you tonight.
Well, it was the next day, but in my defense, he tells me he told us once we get there. Oh, by the way, that was the tornado tunnel, or what was it called?
I was like, oh, by the way, yeah, I was like, that is pretty much like the worst part you can drive through in a rainstorm. So, and it was one of the worst. Yeah, it was one of the worst storms we've had at that time, around that time in a while. So yeah.
And we're the shitty little beater of a car.
The Enterprise budget mobile, where it's like on its last mile before they sell it off.
Exactly.
Anyway, we got another guest for you guys today. But first, we want to say, if you haven't yet, make sure you check out directmusicservice.com, DMS, for all your DJ edit needs. And if you use the promo code Drew and Fuse Show, it'll get you 30% off your first month. Also, in the video description of YouTube, there's going to be a link for the Photo Booth Supply Company. If you're in the market for a photo booth, make sure you check it out. It'll help out the show. And also, if you buy one, Drew's going to send you a t-shirt. Also, we are sponsored by our friends over at Club Cannon. So if you are in the market for something for your event or for your club to help elevate your what's the word I'm looking for here, Drew? You're just help elevate your event.
You want an enhancements. Yeah, you want an enhancement. Right. You want to. I actually just got off the phone with a couple today. They hired us for an after party only. So I'm DJing 1 hour. But they wanted originally to just rent the Club Cannons, and we're like, yeah, we don't do that. And they said, well, we'll book you for an hour then. So I'm going in, playing the closing party, and we're doing 2 50-pound tanks, CO2. It's all, the whole ending of it's based around this big Club Cannon launch. So it's a huge selling point. If you guys don't have them, make sure you grab some Club Cannons. Use the Drew and Fuse code just to let them know that that's where you came from.
Yeah. And so what you're saying, I believe, is that Club Cannon got you booked here.
Actually, real talk, it is exactly how I got booked without them even trying.
They get you booked. There you go. So we're also not sponsored here by Liquid Death. You see this? It's a great can of water, canned water, people. That's all it is, canned water.
Well, I got the regular water today. You went seltzer.
Hey. I'm into the seltzer water. You know why? Because tap water's free, but there is no such thing as free sparkling water. This is for the rich people, Drew.
Well, a cold liquid death that's ice cold is crispy in the morning. Something about it, man. Just bites that hangover right off.
You hungover today?
No, I mean, never hungover.
I had a few Chardonnays. All right. So yeah, not sponsored by Liquid Death, but
Hey, wait, we're coming into town. Say where we're gonna be.
that's right. I'm making a trip. I'm taking the train out to LA, all the way from Cincinnati, Ohio, taking the Amtrak. I'm going to be out there, and we're going to be doing a lot of things, actually. I'm going to be doing a Tuesday night. What's the spot, Drew?
Panama Joe's in Long Beach, California.
Panama Joe's in Long Beach, California.
DJ Irv.
With DJ Irv. Shout out to Irv. Shout out to that spot. We're going to be there on Tuesday night. Wednesday, we are doing a little DJ meetup with Steve Dubb at a Top Golf out there. Drew and Steve have been doing these, or they're trying to get started, these little monthly, brainstorming sessions and DJ meetups locally out there.
This one's sold out, but
baller. Yeah. Wednesday night too, we're doing Drew's playing at the Bungalow. Huntington Beach, and we're gonna be there, Drew and I. I won't be DJing, so you'll find me at the bar holding it up, most likely. Especially the bar will be holding me up probably later in the night, but that's okay because I'm not driving. I took a train. My baby takes the morning train. All right.
But come out, hang out, show some love. We'll get some drinks. We'll have some good time. I'm definitely going to be playing the gambit of music. Anything goes. Yeah. So it'll be a lot of fun. And then Thursday night, we're in San Diego. Look at Fuse's hat. We're in San Diego, American Junkie. That place is absolutely nuts. So San Diegans, come out.
Yes, San Diegans. All right. Today's guest is he's been all over the internet recently. He is a member of the notorious LaForce team, hailing in from Dallas, Texas. And like I said, he's been all over the internet. His TikTok has been blowing up. His IG reels have been blowing up. I think last time I saw, I was scrolling through, he had upwards of like 30 or 40,000 people. And maybe I'm even wrong. Maybe it's more than that. Followers. So anyway, please help us welcome Justin the DJ.
Yo, what's up, guys?
How you doing?
How we doing, y'all? And I also got myself Liquid Death too, just for
y'all.
Nice! Oh, wow!
Gotta crack open a cold one with the boys.
Yeah, not sponsorship.
Let's get it.
All right. So,
cheers,
busy day. Death. Oh yeah, cheers, Liquid Death, cheers.
Liquid Death, cheers.
Yeah, we've been a little busy lately, and we're kind of catching you. It's later here at night for me. We usually get started with some rapid fire questions just to kind of
shake it up.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're gonna play this segment video real quick, and then we'll start with some questions. Here we go.
This is Arnold here, the movie star of Twins and Kindergarten Cop. Drew and Fuse are going to ask you a series of questions, and I want you to answer them immediately. Don't bullshit them. Answer the questions. Hurry! I'm after the chopper. It's now time for rapid fire.
Nice. How much did it cost you guys to get sponsored by Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Arnold's a personal friend, and he did that for us for free.
What a guy, man.
Mm-hmm. He drove in on his Hummer. His Hummer tank came through.
Guns a-blazing.
Jeez.
So one of the things we like to ask to kind of kick things off is something that you're currently listening to. It can be music on Spotify. It could be a podcast. It could be whatever. Just stuff that you like to listen to in your personal time.
I always find myself listening to podcasts, but lately I've been listening to a lot of like Mariah Carey, to be specific.
All I want for Christmas is you over and over on
loop? No, not Christmas music. I'm listening
halfway through.
I really think it's because of that one Lotto song which it really just brought back that fantasy song. And then I just started listening to all of it. Just like I even bought like that rainbow Mariah Carey shirt from her album a couple years ago. I got one of those shirts, and yeah, it's I guess it'd just be Mariah Carey that I've been listening to a lot lately.
You'll always be my baby.
Hey man, that song slaps during dinner at a wedding though.
It does. There's a remix of it that's I get a ton of requests for. I can't remember who's by, but I get a ton of requests for "I'll Always Be My Baby" by that. And I started playing Like That. It's Like That. Have you seen that guy on the guy on that does karaoke of Mariah Carey?
No.
Oh
Is
my
it a
God,
YouTube?
Yeah, it's YouTube. It's easily the greatest thing of all time. Touching My Body.
I don't know if you guys know this though. I gotta interject here. You know how Vin Diesel lives his life a quarter of a mile at a time? Well, Drew lives his life on YouTube a quarter of the time. So 25% of Drew's life is on YouTube. So if it's on YouTube, chances are he's seen it first.
I love the YouTube. It's just so I guess the kids these days are going to be all about TikTok, which is why you're on to talk about. But the YouTube is a little bit more long form, and I just like deep diving, and you can find really everything about it. And I do like the nature of it, that it doesn't have to be, it's kind of punk rock in in the sense that you don't need to have a corporate deal or any of that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos too. Sometimes I'll just sit on my computer, play video games, and I'll have a YouTube video going in the background. And I watch a lot of there's this one guy, what's his name? He has multiple channels. It's like game theory, film theory, and there's like food theory. So he just like deep dives into different topics about all those aspects, and they're like 20-minute long videos, and I just like let it go. It's a lot of fun.
See, I love that.
We should mention that one of our favorite YouTubers is DJ Unstoppable, and that we love Unstoppable.
I love DJ Unstoppable.
He's gonna be on the show here. Yeah, we're getting him on the show because he is just hilarious. His videos make me laugh so much, and Drew too, I know for sure. All right, so moving on with our rapid fire. That's not so rapid fire. Do you have a favorite remixer or producer? And it doesn't have to be like DJ editor. It can be just like,
yeah. I mean, my entire library is like DJ Scooter edits like all day long. But like, I also have, there's an edit from UFuse that I use at like every single wedding. I think it's the September edit. Like that's like my go-to song, specifically from you. And of course, Drew, you got lots of shit too. Like
I
the whole DMS squad is just like stacked.
I love that that Fuse edit of September. That's
really true.
That probably has 100+ plays on my in my Serato.
That's crazy because I've never played that one. I play September, but I don't ever play that one. But
wow. I like it because it's not too hard, like it's like the good balance of original form, but like the drums aren't too hard on it, and you can play it, and people will they'll obviously recognize the song, but it just has that extra like power on it. It makes it it kind of sounds like a song that might have came out today just because of how it kind of sounds.
Thanks. Yeah. There was a while where and Drew can attest to this, where everybody was putting the dumbest, most obnoxious drums behind any song. So a lot of the old drums of mine on the site were from that time. And then there was a time where I was like, okay, it started being kind of like uncool to do that. And it's like, let's try to tastefully match the drums here.
So you should have done a Fergalicious over September. It's Fergalicious drums over September.
Tipsy drums over September, where it's like sped up a lot. Like
right.
But thanks. We appreciate that. We always love hearing that people are playing our stuff out. It's always good to hear. And yes, Scooter holds a big part of my library as well. And I know Drew plays a ton of his edits as well.
Yeah. Ton of Scooter edits. If you guys aren't on DMS, use the Drew and Fuse code for direct music service. Grab all the Scooter's edits. He crushes it, man. Yeah, for sure.
Totally. So this is a question we ask everybody, and it stumps people sometimes, but what is the best non-curse word, one-word insult?
I just cuss a lot, honestly, so I don't have one. But one of my good friends that also works at LaForce, Tony Pre, he says bozo a lot, so I'd probably have to go with that.
Have we gotten bozo before?
We have
Drew?
not gotten bozo, man. I'm in. I'm writing it down. Bozo, that's a great one.
And he says it. He
Bozo.
always says it in a New York accent too. He's like, "Ya bozo," or however they say it. I don't have the right accent for it, but you know.
I used to watch Bozo when I was a kid sometimes in the morning. Did you ever watch Bozo, Drew?
No, but let's be honest. Clowns are kind of like curse words in themselves. They're fucking weird,
Mm.
man. Someone was just telling me this story about this this clown who came to their birthday party. It was like a kid's birthday party, and they the parents found him wandering around the house asking for more money, and he was obviously very intoxicated. Like, you guys owe me more money. Like trying to like find the parents in different rooms.
So it was Krusty the Clown that they actually
God.
hired. They hired real life Krusty.
It was Bozo. Bozo the clown.
My favorite clown is Homie the Clown from In Living Color.
Oh, Homie the Clown's the man. Homie don't play that.
Homie don't play that. Anyway, so one of the other questions we like to ask is, if we were to come visit you, where would you take us to eat that we can't get anywhere but where you live? So Dallas. Anywhere in Dallas.
And they just dropped that In-N-Out in Dallas. I know that's like fairly recent.
Yeah, that In-N-Out's been there for a while. Well, yeah, but I would probably have to say, if you come to Dallas or Texas in general, like, you got to go to Whataburger. 100%. Like, that is like the staple of like Texas food, you know?
Why do I think maybe I'm the Californian, I'm gonna get a ton of hate, but Whataburger was like a mediocre Burger King. You know, I wanted to think it was amazing. I've had it late night, and of course I was like drooling, like that might have been the best burger ever. And then I had it sober, and I was like, this is a shitty Burger King. But you know, I mean,
well, are you getting
my
just
tires slashed because of that?
Are you getting like the regular burger, like the regular Whataburger, or are you getting like the special ones?
Well, yeah,
that's where it's at.
Tell me what I'm ordering, because obviously it's the same as In-N-Out. You know, I tell people go, "Oh, In-N-Out's mediocre," but then you got to order it the right way, and then it's amazing. So, so how do I order it to make it where it doesn't
so there are two that I usually get. Unfortunately, they're seasonal, so I can't get either of them right now. So you just have to be there at the right time. But you got to get the Buffalo Ranch. You got to get the Buffalo Ranch chicken strip sandwich. Like, that is
all right.
That is the thing to get. And then I don't know when the last time that they released this sandwich, but it's the Chop House Cheddar Burger. They put like shredded cheese on it. It's got like a sauce on it. It's like super good.
So you get the combo. I don't know what a burger, but is it curly fries or like
they're just regular straight cut.
Regular straight cut. All right.
Yeah.
They're not the shitty shoestring ones, right?
No. I would compare them to like McDonald's fries. Like this kind of the same style.
That's bold, because I definitely put McDonald's fries as I'm a fry connoisseur, and the McDonald's fries easily the top of the food chain.
If they're made well. Like, if they're
McDonald's sucks in general. You know, it's if they started a new batch. Let's just say that, right?
Yeah.
Fresh out.
And they were made with a little bit of love, you know? Like, somebody took a little bit of pride in what they were doing that day. Just a little bit.
The fry cook's loving it that day.
Yeah. I mean, dude, the best is like the McDonald's, and like when you go to Europe, McDonald's in Europe hit way different than they do in the United States.
It's true.
It's way different. Yes. They actually take pride in what the fuck they do there. Like,
well, I had a McDonald's quarter pounder, or I don't know, what is it, Royale with cheese, whatever the fuck it is, in Ireland, and that was the best meat patty I've ever had in life. It was just like, holy fuck, where did I come? This is so good.
It's funny because I was gonna say the best one I ever had was best McDonald's I ever ate to was in Ireland. So,
what's so different about it? They just
I would say
cows everywhere that they're that aren't growing up in our gutter ass farms here.
They don't treat it like a shitty like they're like McDonald's is like a restaurant. Not that it's still fast food, but they treat
Mhm.
it like they don't look down upon it. It's like is the only way I would say. So like people that work there, they just don't suck. Like not people don't take any pride in anything they do here in the United States. That like, yeah, it's a job and your job might suck and you're working at McDonald's, but if you're working at McDonald's, just own that shit and fucking work,
Mm.
like and I get that people can be shitty to those people too, but the whole experience in Europe with McDonald's is way different than here.
Night and
Like they're
day.
coming around to your tables. Can I get you guys anything else? Like do you need more ketchup? Like no, but if I did, thank you. Like I would appreciate that.
Mm.
But
Okay, that
it's
makes
just
sense.
different. Yeah.
I've seen like photos of like someone open the box of their McDonald's sandwich and there's like a slice of cheese like slapped on top of it, not even in the sandwich.
Yeah.
Or like
Yeah.
they just like smash the burger into the bag and it's like a half burger essentially, like just all falling apart.
And I don't even think that a lot of times it's the employees' fault that work at these places. I think it's what it is a lot of absentee owners that, just let shit get out of
Mm.
control and out of control because that's what majority of McDonald's are franchised by absentee owners and they run themselves essentially because, but I think that's one of the majority of the problems. Anyway, to move forward with our not so rapid fire, if you were in a room full of DJs and you had one thing to brag about to all the DJs in terms of accomplishments or an exciting night in the DJ booth, what would be your thing that you would talk about?
It's kind of tough. I don't know. I guess for the most part what I end up doing is like private events, so like doing a lot of weddings and doing a lot of school proms and homecomings and stuff like that. I don't really find myself playing like at any bars or clubs really. So it's just really about, elevating those nights for those clients specifically and just making sure everyone
And
has a good time.
maybe there's a classic wedding story of something that, you know, changed the game or something that was memorable. That's something that you walked away with. I have a not so classic one that definitely I think was terrible. But the groom, had his idol come out and do this special song with him. It was it was dope. It was a comedian. He had done this funny song. He came out and he did the song with him. However, the groom was so nervous about this, he forgot to eat. So he just continued to scale up and get more and more drunk to where he was not found later in the night until the very end because he was thrown up in the bushes. But the bride was living her best life and dancing. And I just went to a meetup with a bunch of coordinators, and that was just like the story everyone was telling. I'm
Mm.
doing the PC version of that story, but it was a bunch of words. If you ever want to ask me, let me know. But yeah,
I mean, I
That's a
guess I
good
have
story.
something similar to that. I mean, I
what's
had a
that?
wedding where the groom just got straight hammered, right? And so obviously they had a great time and they're about to do the send off. Homie's about to puke. Like he's got his bride next to him. They're about to walk out and I could
Oh,
see it and the bathroom's right there. And I was like, all right, let's go, bro. Like I had to legit like his whole body weight essentially because he was just like barely walking. Took him straight to the stall and just let it out.
He was
Let him have
Slumdog
it.
Millionaire. Yeah,
Good
that's
thing he wasn't
that's
driving
rough.
that night. He was
Yeah.
he was trashed.
You know, I gotta say, I don't blame these guys that get hammered at their weddings. It's not a fun thing they're signing themselves up for.
Damn.
get married. They said it'd be fun. They said.
Oh
No,
man, why do we do it
it's
to ourselves?
it's a stressful day. I get it. I mean, you have a couple with the boys early on because you're excited. Like I said, you don't get a chance to eat because you're so freaking nervous and every person's coming up and talking to you. So it is something that, I've always tried to coach people in. Take a breath, eat, shoot
Yeah,
shoot people away.
yeah, and then some of those like event staff like who are great, and I would personally love it. They like are always going up to the couple as soon as they see their drink get to the end, handing them new drinks, and it's like that's great, but like you got to slow down for these guys here for a minute. Yeah, sometimes your job, as the wedding DJ or the just I don't even know what I was gonna say. As the DJ for the night, it's your job to make sure, You keep the groom from puking on himself when
That is
when you
number one
can.
priority.
So
well, we got an all brand new segment video just for you, Justin. We had we this was a big tall order to get this one get this favor called in. So let's play this new segment video.
All right, let's play it.
Drew and Fuse, I'm all shook up, you hound dogs. Don't be cruel. It's now or never. Let's talk social media. Uh-huh-huh. 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 Uh-huh. 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 Uh-huh.
Whoa. That was a lot of uh-huh-hus.
I was like, is he gonna stop or what? He's just gonna keep going. This is the show, guys.
This is what happens when Drew edits videos. Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Man, Elvis had too many. What was his custom sandwich? He had marshmallow and peanut butter and bacon and the whole works, man.
Peanut butter and mayonnaise.
Yeah, with ham on the mayonnaise.
Dude, there's gonna be people that write us or like voicemail. Drew and Fuse. That's all they're gonna do from now on.
Well, that one was custom made. We had Elvis call in from the grave, and he wanted to lace us with a new social media segment just for this, just to talk to you. So
thank you, Elvis. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. So one of my first questions, and just to get it out there, because I don't know if I said it right at the beginning, what is the followers looking like these days on Instagram and TikTok for you? We know you've been blowing up on there quite a bit.
Yeah. I think on Instagram I'm getting close to 60. TikTok's I only recently started TikTok, so I'm at like 4K on there. But really just that's kind of what it's looking like right now. But once you get to a point where you're really focusing more on the content, like seeing the numbers, like the numbers really don't matter. It's really about what comes from creating the content, whether that's selling a product or finding potential clients to book you. Yeah, you really shouldn't focus a whole lot on the numbers in the long run if you guys want to focus on making that content.
I think that's a great answer, because I was looking at my numbers on TikTok and I barely post, terrible, but I have seen that I'm getting constant followers, and I was kind of looking through them. It almost seems like TikTok is spamming with a bot in a weird way, right? I know there's real followers, but I'm like, I don't know who the fuck these last 100 followers I randomly got. So I don't know if people are out there fishing or what, but it seems like my numbers are going through the roof and I'm not posting, So it's interesting is what I'm saying. Their algorithm is on another planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, a video that you posted 2 months ago might be still getting shown to people,
Right.
And that's why it's important to post content in general, even if it's not consistent. Like, just existing is super valuable because of these platforms. They want good content, they need good content, and they want to be able to keep people on their app as much as possible. So if somebody is slightly interested in DJing or slightly interested in music, and they think the algorithm thinks your video is going to keep them on the app longer, they're going to show it to them, even if your video is like 3 months old.
So I had a friend post something on Instagram recently, and he had downloaded it off TikTok and then uploaded it to Reels. And that little tag, I think he got sandbagged by it, and he had about 3 views. And then I told him that he deleted it, and it was up to 5K. Maybe you could speak about what knowledge you're learning about, reposting and what you should be doing as far as that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if there's any real information on whether or not you can post a TikTok video with the little logo or whatever onto Instagram, but from what I've seen and from what I've experienced is that Instagram doesn't like it when you post a TikTok on there. Now there are some people that that's their thing, like they post on TikTok and then they reshare it and their stuff goes off. I don't know. There might be a unicorn or something like that, but for every single person that I've talked to, and even myself, and my girlfriend does blogging stuff and content creation as well. She ended up making it to where she um, gets the actual video file without the logo before posting it on any other platform because for some reason Instagram sees that and just blocks it or does something to it to where no one sees it.
Totally. When I went up to Dallas, this is probably 2020 or maybe no, actually it was 18
Like
maybe. I first met
2018,
you.
yeah.
Yeah, I first met you and you were you had a camera in your hand and you guys were trying to shoot content and you were already doing this well before all of this. I mean, it was just really people were just focused on a picture. Video was was there, but I wouldn't say it was the focus like it is today. Instagram's deleting pictures and it's really all about video. Video, video, video. What got you into the cameras and what kind of propelled this whole, just having a camera and trying to shoot a lot of this stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it kind of leads back to when I was in high school. I had a good friend who was also interested in media. We both went to it was like a special class for our high school, which was like advanced like media production and stuff like that. We were in that class together. And so we had access to like all the good gear. Like it was top of the line stuff, like basically looked like a newsroom. Like they had like green screens and they had expensive cameras and all the editing software, like everything we needed. And we really just like had fun and made like stupid ass videos, posted them on YouTube for 20 people to watch. And they were just the dumbest things, but we just had so much fun making them. And that really kind of led me to kind of pursue it more on an educational level. So I went to college at UNT for radio, television, and film, just kind of the whole aspect. And it really just kind of went from there, just doing it a lot. And, anytime I had, like, for example, I went to school and they had, it was like an English class and they're all like, okay, you can either write an essay or make a video. I'd make a video 100%. It was so much easier for me to do that. And, it just there's so many, especially nowadays, so many aspects where creating content is super valuable. So I'm super glad that I've kind of pursued that since then.
Once you graduated, what was the first camera you bought and how did it kind of evolve to where closer to that 2018 mark where you were taking pictures? Because at the same time your trajectory is DJing, right? So are you seeing the value of having to take your own pictures, or how do you split your time between DJing and the content creation if you're doing both?
Yeah. I mean, when I first started out, I bought like this it was like a Canon, I think it was like the 80D, what they called it. It was like a crop sensor camera, and I bought like a decent Canon L lens with it and really just did that for fun. Never really thought of it as something to capture content specifically for DJing. And you're right, I was like, while pursuing that interest in photography and videography, I was also DJing at college events and college parties, but they never really combined until I started working at LaForce and really started thinking about myself as a DJ and how to better brand myself and to kind of give myself a leg up in terms of getting my own clients that may not be looking at LaForce specifically, but just looking for a DJ in general. And then one day it just kind of clicked.
Yeah, because working for a company like LaForce, and we're going to talk about them here in a little bit, but working for a company like LaForce, I could see how there is competition, right? So, the leads are coming in, but they're picking who they want. And, I'm sure they get divvied up as they will, but if they see someone like you that is doing tons of content now and they're like, man, that's who I want, right? That's got to be a giant benefit to put in that little bit extra effort to really shine through all the other DJs that are on the team.
It really is. I can't tell you how many times I met with a client who maybe one of their vendors said go with LaForce, so they inquire at LaForce. LaForce gives them a list of DJs available, and then from that point on, they can kind of look at all the DJs, look at their content, and all that kind of stuff. And in that kind of area I put my social media. And just simply having that ability for them to look at my social media and see in person, like real life content of me at a wedding, or this is what my setup looks like, or
Right.
me talking to the camera about anything. They get a sense of more of my personality rather than what content that LaForce as a company is showing them. They really get to see more like behind the scenes of like, who's this guy? I can't tell you how many times I've met with a client who says, yeah, we picked you because of your social media. Like, we looked at your social media and you're like, wow, this guy's got a lot of stuff. And then they look at another DJ, look at their social media, and they don't have anything. And they're just like, well, we're not going to even talk to anybody else because we see what you do at a wedding. Like, that's what we want.
So DJs that work for another company, I have a couple questions here, but DJs that work for a big company like yourself, or just work for a company where there's maybe 2 or 3 DJs, don't wait around for the boss man to take some pictures or for the photographer to take some pictures. Do make a mix, get some content of just you mixing live. Now, you're saying that couples are seeing your stuff. Are mixes helping? Because that's a running joke I have with a lot of my friends is I could go on like 10 different DJ websites and not see one mix, right? You're selling DJing, but you don't have a fucking mix on your thing. Whereas,
Yeah.
like photographers have tons of pictures and all that stuff. You got to have a mix, right? But the social media in that aspect of it you can do some transitions, some behind the scenes stuff, and not have to put forth that full hour-long mix of putting a lot of creativity in. So you almost are able to cut corners a little bit.
Yeah, you can. I think my most recent live at a wedding mix video is like 7 seconds, But like that's all it takes. Like a client, when they are looking for a DJ, they want to make sure that you don't suck. I think is a big aspect of it. So that's why they ask, can I hear a mix? Can I see you DJ? Can I go to one of your events? It's because they want to make sure you don't suck. And so whenever they go on your social media and they don't see anything to do with DJing, let alone a video of you mixing, they're going to go find someone who can.
We see a ton of older veterans who are afraid of posting and making TikToks or just jumping on the platform in general. And, some of my favorite things, yes, I'm calling all you old DJs out there. I'm calling you out. No more pictures of the tablecloths, with nothing else behind it. I don't need to see a picture of DJ in a wedding today, and then it's a picture of the tablecloth with a little tiny baby flower on it. I don't want to see that. Like, let show us something good. And so, what's your advice to get them to stop being lame and posting shitty social media stuff? First step, baby steps, right? You don't got to go full blown into what you're doing. Baby steps. What's a great baby step advice for these guys that are stuck in their ways?
Absolutely. I mean, going right into it is not sustainable either. Like, you can't go from never posting to all of a sudden you're posting 3 times a day, 7 days a week. Like, that's not sustainable because it's not part of your routine. It's not part of your lifestyle. So of course, baby steps is the best way. Like, I think if you're going to try and change your mindset into capturing content, I think having at least somewhat of a routine, maybe start off with like, okay, every Tuesday, I'm going to try and post a video, or every Tuesday, I'm going to try and post a photo or something. At like bare minimum, like at least try and make yourself exist on these platforms. And we could talk about this a little later, but like a huge chunk of like 25 and younger, like they don't Google stuff. Google is not their spot to find the next best restaurant in the area, or to find their wedding vendors, or find a cool DJ at their party. Like, they're checking TikTok, they're checking Instagram. Like, that's their spot. So like baby steps is going to go a long way in starting, because the hardest part about being on the platforms is simply starting.
What's a great way, if you're not going to rely on the photographer or anybody else to take pictures for you, right? Do you hire somebody? Do you get a fucking the most basic? What I did is I got the most basic of basic. I got a stand off of Amazon so that you could take pictures. Is that, where do you start? What's we'll get into some tech talk and some other stuff, but what's a leg first that they could do? Like, just a basic stand for your phone? What are you doing?
Yeah, I think bare minimum, like getting a stand. Like I have this really cool mount that I use at a lot of my events. It's called here. It's called a Joby mount. You can get these at like Best Buy, but essentially, like I have like a phone mount on it, and you see it has these like movable legs. You guys have seen these before, yeah?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
So
look
you
at
just
Fuse with it.
oh, he's got one. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just grab these and then you can take these legs and they're like adjustable. So you can like wrap them around, like I put it like around like a speaker pole, for example. I have an extra speaker pole, might throw it behind me, wrap this around there, and then I got the phone mount, put my phone on it, hit record, boom, you got video.
I see some of your videos. You must have somebody on site, right? You guys,
Mhm.
LaForce travel in twos. Is so you have the assistant break out the camera. Yeah. That's the first question, and then
Yeah.
secondly, do you tell him or her what to do? Like this is the shot because I'm also going to call out assistants here. I like talking shit, but the assistants, man, just people in general don't know how to frame a fucking camera, right? You're like, it has a grid on it, and they're like, it's all off, and no fluid at all. Do you have to coach them, or what are you doing? Because you are getting some great, videos of people actually having some kind of flow to it.
Mhm.
So that's my struggle as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you guys can swing having an assistant at your events, not only are they going to help you like set up your gear, run the lights, but during the party, they're just kind of chilling, unless they're going ham on the lights, they're kind of chilling. And so I'm actually a trainer at LaForce currently. So we have like 10 DJ apprentices right now that are training to be new DJs on our team. So they kind of divvied up those people and sent them up to kind of our top tier DJs at LaForce, and they are just kind of hanging out with us, learning the ropes, seeing what's up. And a part of that, at least for my assistant Adrian, um, comes with an importance on social media, just because that's what I'm all about. And showing him how to frame things, how to shoot, what to look for. And I
Is
think
this
he's
is this after? Is this before you even get to the wedding? Is this at the wedding? How are you training these people, or
you know
Adrian, if you will?
Yeah, well, when it comes to social media specifically, like it's really a trial and error kind of thing. Like uh, the first couple times he did it at my event, I probably couldn't use them. And, I'd look at him and be like, okay, you could have probably done this, or maybe I'd do this different, or, oh, you missed the shot. Like this person was doing a crazy dance. Like you should have like swung over here. Like give them constructive criticism, of course, and show them like, hey, man, like this is great. This is awesome, but here's what you could do better, and like really encourage them and kind of talk up how important the social media is, not just like for me but for them to like have the skill to know, because one day they're going to go do their own events, and they're going to need to be able to, of course, do it for themselves, maybe prop the phone up and know how to frame it or what to look for, but eventually they might need to tell their assistant how to do it too. So like it's only just going to be like a skill that's just going to benefit everybody overall.
I got a question, and this is kind of back to where it first started. Uh, with Instagram now, and it's popped up on my Instagram all the time, and I'm sure other people that listen get paid for your reels.
Mhm.
Are you signed up for that? I'm signed up for it. I just recently did it. I was having actually problems with the app for the longest time, just kept resetting. Are
Yeah.
you getting paid for your reels?
Yeah, so they actually let me on that a couple months ago. I was surprised because my girlfriend, I may have mentioned it before, but she does like influence. She's an influencer and she's a fashion blogger. She does that completely full time, and so she got access to like they call it the Reels bonus or Reels
Mhm.
Play, and essentially for all the views that you get in a designated month, they'll pay you just straight up. So, and it's also kind of I don't know what the word is, but essentially for your beginning views they pay you more, and then the more views you get, each view is worth less and less and less money, up until you hit your cap, which is whatever number that they set. But yeah, they put me on I'd say like 2 months ago, 3 months ago. It's not like substantial amount of money, but like it's definitely a good incentive, to keep going.
Yeah, I want to say that when I signed up, it said like get paid for me, it was like get paid up to $1,200 a month for your reels or something like that. I want to say was the amount. And I've posted 2 since then, 2 reels, and let me see if I can find it. I know when I checked it the other day and I hadn't posted the second reel yet, it was like $15 or something like that. It said would be on the payout. And that was just the first I'm trying to find
That's enough for Whataburger combo, if you know what I'm
dude,
saying.
I was just gonna say, if posting a reel is gonna get me a couple beers at the baseball game, I am down to post some reels for some beers. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
What kind of dog was that at the Cincy
oh, you
ballpark?
want Drew? You need come on, bro. I know you remember the name. It's Big Red Smoky. Come on, come on. You want that
You
Big
want-
Red Smoky
If
in
you
your
want
life?
that big red smoky, you just go. So all you got to do is post a couple reels. Done.
Yeah, couple reels done.
So does TikTok have the same incentives, or is Instagram so far behind that they're trying to play catch up right now? And
I
that's
know
why they're
the
throwing
answer.
money?
I think, and I think TikTok, you have to have over 1,000 followers before they do anything with you. I think. I'm pretty positive, at least.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the incentives for TikTok either. Again, I only recently started posting a lot on TikTok. So I'm not super well versed in the TikTok realm, but definitely something I need to look into as well. So
You must
what does your
have.
numbers look like for the Reels play, Fuse?
I'm sorry. TikTok says you must be 18 years age or older and have more than 10,000 followers and at least 100,000 views over the last 30 days. Then you can apply to the TikTok Creator Fund in the app. But I know there's something else with that they include. They include. It's like 1,000. You have to have 1,000, and maybe it's to go
I think
live.
it's the
Maybe
live
that's
streams.
yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
On my reels, I've have some I made the mistake of posting some ones from TikTok and then posting it over. Originally, I have some that have gotten around 4,000, 5,000, or the 5,000 is like the highest I've gotten. But the only 2 videos that I have posted recently, reels, that is, the one got 1,600 and the one got 3,200. And that's like since I started
Mhm.
the like pay, the Instagram pay thing. And been trying to sit here and pay attention and figure out where that is in the settings
Yeah.
to. Okay, so right now, as it sits, from my bonuses from just posting 2 reels, right? I'm gonna make $24.10.
Ooh.
$24.10, and that's from 2 reels that I've posted. One that's got 1,661 views, and the other one's got 3,206 views right now.
That's a whole day at
I-
Whataburger, bro.
Dude,
Well,
right?
I gotta know. Do you have a business page, or do you need to have a personal page? Right.
You don't have to have a business page because Justin, you just said you have a personal page, right?
I have a creator page. So they have
You have a
personal, business, and then creator. So those are the 3 options you could be.
Is there a benefit to doing creator over business?
So it's just a matter of how things are kind of run on your page. I don't know if this is still like this, but what made me go from a business to a creator account was they made it to where you couldn't use like music in your stories as a business account. I don't know if it's still
Right.
like that, but when I found that out, I was like, why can't I use music anymore? And then I switched over to creative. But I also noticed that there's a website that will help you like automate like photos. Like back in the day, you could like schedule like photos to like auto post at a certain time. You could only do that on a business account, but you can't do it on a creator account.
I sometimes wonder, like, because I have a business account, if stuff like kind of gets shadow banned more times than other, because some posts that I make, I swear I'll get like 50 likes, and then another post will get like 300 likes, and it's just really bizarre to me, there's that much difference in posts. So I
And their
sometimes
reels.
no. Well, some of my reels are pretty spread out in terms of uh actually, yeah, I mean, I've had a reel that's only gotten 182 views, I've got a reel that's got 198, 161. And then I've had, like I said, some of these reels that have gotten closer to 5,000. So it's just weird.
I think Facebook sandbags. It's known, like Facebook pages, Facebook business pages sandbag the shit out of businesses unless you put money towards them. So, it's not shocking to me. But from what I understand with Instagram, and please correct me if anybody knows the answer to this, but you can still go back and change this. You don't have to stay a business. You can go back to a personal page. You can go back to it, so it's not stuck in any way.
I might look into changing to a creator on there just because I just wonder if there'll be such a difference, because I don't really run my page like a per se, like a business page in terms of what I'm doing. So I think it might be more beneficial for me to take that route. But what I wanted to suggest and what I wanted to kind of say with talking about the reels and getting paid for them is like, DJs and like, you're doing this stuff already. You're posting this stuff already. Why not make some extra free money? I mean, it's free money. It's something that I would post anyway. So for me, it's like, okay, well, now I'm going to get $24. It's like, like you said, it buys the Whataburger meal. And you know what? Like,
super.
It's something I'm already doing,
What a size that Whataburger meal.
Yeah. I mean, the problem with that is that it's not open invite on Instagram. I don't know if it's open invite on TikTok, but on Instagram, they pick you. Like, the thing came out like a year ago and I was like, oh, I want to get paid for reels. Like, I'm already making them. Like, give me the money. Like, come on. And I just didn't get them for months. And then one day, boom, I got the notification. You want to get paid? And I was like, yeah. And that was it.
That's cool. I didn't know that. I thought everybody got the opportunity. I'm special. I just found that out today, that I am special for the first time in my life. And I'm kind of feeling pretty good right now. I'm up here. I'm not gonna lie.
Boom.
It's gonna be hard to get me off this this level today, Drew.
I'm on a new level.
So one thing I want to ask is, or one thing I want to kind of mention is I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate, and I think that what you said is great. You're looking for new clients, and you're looking for sorry, because it was said like 20 minutes ago, but what I think you'll understand what I mean is, I think what's important as a DJ and whatever you're doing on social media is to know what you're trying to attract. What is the goal of what you're trying to do on social media? Because for me, I don't do as many events and weddings as you and Drew. I do a handful a year. I've done more sometimes than others. But for me, with doing bars and clubs, it's like I want to attract more of that vibe that's going to get me booked in those atmospheres. So for me, I want to do things that I think other DJs want to see, or is the right thing that other bookers or things like that might see in terms of like that. So I just kind of wanted to say, I think it's very important to know who you're trying to attract with posts and content that you're creating.
Absolutely. 100%. Because like what you post online matters a ton. And if you are, if you're a DJ in an area and somebody needs a DJ, they might stumble upon your page. They're going to take a look at all your stuff. And if let's say they need you for a bar mitzvah and you don't have any bar mitzvah content, they might not think you do them. Or for example, if there's a client that hates it when DJs play line dances and then they go to your page and first video out the gate is everyone doing the cha-cha slide, like they're like, oh, this is probably not the DJ for me. So like 100%, like you need to make sure that you have a mindset of what's your goal, what's your purpose, what's your why on posting on social media, because just kind of throwing stuff out there, if you're just throwing shit and just waiting to see what comes back, you're going to get shit back at you.
Right. And you've definitely been putting some great content out there, and it's always evolving. It's always changing. Like one minute it'll be kind of a funny little clip for DJs. The next minute it's somebody else for the wedding people, where it's a mix. So how are you mapping this out? And is there any rhyme to your reason on what you're putting out and how you're building your month out?
Yeah. I kind of, when it comes to curating content, I make it on a weekly basis. So like I will kind of think about, okay, what kind of videos have I gotten at weddings lately? Okay, I got these videos and I want to have like maybe a funny video or two this week, or maybe I got a cool time lapse of me doing a setup, or maybe I did cool like before and after video, like really just trying to kind of cover all the bases because I want to not only attract potential clients from my wedding content, me DJing, or the setup, how it looks, or any aspect of that, but I also want to um, be a source of insight for potential DJs and aspiring DJs too, because I think it's really important to be able to provide helpful information to these people that may not have ever done a wedding or may not have ever DJed in front of people in general. I'm always jumping on. I haven't done one in a while, but I did a video that was kind of like bashing like the sync button, or I can't remember what the other one was, but essentially, or I was talking about like not playing
The
line
cops
dances
came in.
at events.
Cops
Yeah,
jumped
the
in
ones where
with
the
their snake
FBI
line.
jumped in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. That was funny.
Yeah.
Now, along with that question, are you seeing more comments and more feedback from DJs, or are you seeing it from brides or grooms actually responding and hitting you up and going, "Oh, I saw this video." I mean, that sync button might not really fully connect with them, right? But
Yeah.
it does to the DJ, so it helps your algorithm by blowing that up, and then the next one you follow up is a DJ. So how do you think about that as you're going to post, right? And I also want to know, how often are you posting, right? So is it Monday,
Mhm.
Wednesday, Friday, and you're thinking funny, serious funny, or how are you're coming to terms with those?
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to kind of scheduling it out, I try to do Monday through Thursday at least one a day, and if I've got extra, I'll do two. Just kind of how my day is going, but I try at least to do one, both on Instagram and then face it over to TikTok too. And of course, having the original file so it doesn't have any of those Instagram or TikTok emblems that you get from downloading it from the platform. And then yeah, I think that's really the most important thing when it comes to posting content to that scale. Um,
So do
if
you
you
make your videos, I'm sorry to interrupt. Do you
Yeah,
make the
you're good.
videos on you do you use like the TikTok features to edit the video, or do you do it in like a Final Cut and then move it over?
So I shoot everything on my phone, and then I bring it over to my laptop and I edit it in DaVinci. And that's kind of really it. I just throw it together, and sometimes I'll do like cool like zoom effects, or I'll do some different cuts. There's some things that you can't really do in the app. Um, I don't know if you can do a whole lot of layering in terms of audio, but I think that's a really important aspect too, especially for the live wedding or live DJing. Videos, like, because you want to be able to hear the clear music that's playing, but you also want to hear the crowd going crazy when you do that transition or hit those cuts. So like having both of those audios kind of playing one over the other is really helpful.
Are you in are you doing a regular camera at all, or is everything on the phone?
No, it's all phone, man. The iPhone
Okay.
13 is
Yeah.
crazy. And you don't
Yeah.
you don't need a crazy camera. Like you got one of the best cameras in your pocket right now.
Yeah,
Mm,
I agree.
I
Actually,
agree.
me and Fuse both bought that other camera. I find myself using the phone all the time. But
Well, with Drew and I have said it before on here, the best camera you can have or best camera you can buy is the one you actually use. So,
Mhm.
with that being said though, if you're somebody who's not going to pull your phone out and you really want some easy, set and kind of forget, get it, Drew. That's an infomercial one. Set it and forget it. Uh, I use basically all my reels and all my TikToks are from the Insta360 camera that Drew and I have been big advocates for. Because, I'm mostly in the bar, mostly in the club, and everything I do is super quick mix all the time. I don't have somebody with me. And if I do, it's not somebody I trust that I want getting any kind of footage. And my friends all like to drink, so they're like,
It's all shaky. The shake
yeah, it's
cam,
always
dude.
like,
It
like
adds that
it's
effect
like,
though. Like if the club's going crazy, add that little shake. It's all good.
yeah. So I've loved that because you know you just literally, I set it there and I'll put it somewhere and I hit start and I get the footage I want for the night. I mean, literally most of the things that I post on TikTok are something, okay, it's like kind of, I think this is going to be peak hour tonight. Let me just set this up real quick and hit play or hit record, and I let it do its thing. And then like I'm doing my thing and I don't feel the need to to be like monitoring the crowd to get footage because, it's just me. And, you know, um,
It's like having a drone in your pocket.
yeah, I'm a drone operator. In case you guys don't know, that's the drone footage that I get from the club every night. I sit there with my little drone controller and I'm flying it and DJing and talking on the mic and running the lights and hitting the CO2 all at the same time.
I actually have a very an important question for you. The DaVinci Resolve that you said you edit with. I know it's a free software. I know there's an upgrade to it, but it is a free software. Are you using the free software, and why do you use that over iMovie?
Yeah, I use the free version. I didn't pay for it at all. And I used to edit a lot on Final Cut, and then I moved over to Premiere for a little bit, and I never really liked Premiere a whole lot, and started working with Resolve, and it really reminded me a ton of Final Cut. And it has really good um, color correction software built into it, all free. Like I can, it's phenomenal what it can do when it comes to color correction. But it has all the tools you need for creating those cuts and those fades, and layering the music, and everything you would need in a editing software that's completely free. Like it's super great. And I think
What's
there's some things. Go
what's
ahead.
it called again? I'm sorry.
DaVinci Resolve.
And it's completely free.
Yeah.
Completely free. I know a lot of, since Fuse was hating on me for watching too much YouTube, a lot of the YouTubers talk about jumping over to the DaVinci Resolve. I personally bought Final Cut just because I was like, it's a couple bucks, but it's free upgrades for life, right? So I just went all Mac. But I have heard a lot of people talking very highly about DaVinci Resolve, and for a free software, if you guys are hesitant at all, definitely jump into it.
And I think it's important to kind of, say too, like if you're making TikToks, the stuff you can do within the TikTok app is actually pretty cool.
Mhm.
You can do some pretty cool stuff just within that. And it just takes some figuring it out and dedicating some time to something. It's just like anything else in life. It doesn't do the work for you. Nothing does
What?
the work for you.
This is lame. This podcast sucks, dude. What are you
Dude, I
talking
know.
about? Make it do
know.
work for me, dude. Can't the podcast do work for me?
Dude, yeah. What I'm saying is like you got to do some work. Drew, it's mind blowing, right?
You gotta try.
You got to try sometimes.
I mean, it
You
goes
got to.
in just like practicing your DJing or practicing your scratching or anything like that. Like, I was talking to somebody today. They were telling me how they want to post their content on social media, but they don't know where to start or they don't know how to do it. And I told them, like, just like we were talking about earlier, baby steps. So, like, if you want to be able to talk about your business, pull up your phone, open up the stories, and start talking about yourself, start talking about your business, and then delete it. And then the next day, do it again, and then delete it. And then the next day, do it again. And one of those days, you're going to do that and be like, okay, I'm used to the sound of my voice. I'm feeling confident in what I'm saying. Boom, post it. First story. And then you just go from there. And it's the same thing with the reels too. Like you can have an idea and it just ends up not working out when you make it. That doesn't mean you suck and you shouldn't try. It just means you just need to keep doing it and you'll get there eventually.
It's like when people come up to me and say, "Man, DJing's so cool. I always want to be a DJ. Will you give me some lessons?" And I'm like, have you ever played another instrument? And they're like, most of the time they're like, yeah. I'm like, did you take any lessons or something? They're like, oh yeah or no. And I'm like, what's the first step though you took to playing that instrument? And they're like, huh? And I'm like, you bought the instrument. Don't come talk to me until you buy DJ gear. Like you have to take that leap into doing it. Like, and if you're not taking that leap and proactively making, steps to do things better, whether in all aspects of your career, you can't go to somebody like you and ask, for help for doing it. It's like, if you're not doing it, I mean, sure, you can give them advice, but like, if they're not actively doing anything, you have to start. You have to start.
Yeah.
And that's the same as with us doing this podcast and other people. It's like, you just got to start and it'll evolve,
I got news for everybody on here. We're on episode 44 today, or 45 or 46, I don't remember. But guess what? We're still really bad at this.
Very. Very bad.
It's maybe or maybe not getting better, but it's really bad. And so
man, it's a great show. It's a great show. Like, so many people listen to this show and everyone talks about your show, and you got like tons of people buying Liquid Death now all of a sudden because
that
of
is
you
a
guys.
fact.
So
that
like
is a fact.
Not sponsored by
like I said, the company didn't even really exist before the show, and it was because of us that it's even getting big.
I got the Liquid Death fridge in the living room here, and all the my mother-in-law, who's sober, will come over and just destroy like a whole 12-pack, just like it's like it's throwing it down. Couple more questions in regard to social media, and then I want to move into your tech, and this I think kind of moves into that. Is this set up when you're doing these home, or like the funny ones, right? Not the ones at the wedding, the funny ones. Is this at La Force? Is this, your room that has 4 lighting systems set up and it's a green screen? Like, what are you doing?
It's all in my house. Yeah.
It's all in your house. Okay. And so do you have like a room dedicated to it, or are you just moving shit around and it is what it is? You don't sleep one night, or you pull out the sleeping bag, or you pull out the tent and you're in the backyard.
No, my girlfriend and I, we rent this 3-bedroom house. So we have obviously the 1 bedroom for us, and then she gets her own office and I get my own office. So my office, I consider it like content room. So like I have like my PC on there, and then I have the green screen right over here next to me. I got these big ass box lights, and I got a bunch of cameras that I use for streaming on Twitch and stuff like that. So I'll use all that kind of stuff for live streaming, but I have like all those lights that I use as well for shooting some of those funny videos in other parts of my room. Having the lights really helps. It helps give you more of a crisp image, but you don't need all of that crazy stuff to make it happen.
Stop where you're at. Don't talk too much more. We're going to run the tech talk video. We're going to talk tech.
I need some new technology.
Nice.
Drew's lovely singing voice.
All right.
The best, man.
So, in terms of tech, what is some stuff that you've bought recently? And it can be as simple too as like, your stand you held up earlier, this thing, anything like that. You said you got some lights. What's new stuff you got?
Okay. I cannot talk highly enough about this microphone. Have you guys seen these before?
I just bought and sold it, but it's amazing. I know, they're so great.
These are the DJI microphones.
Yeah.
These things are amazing. I use these for. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, explain it a little bit for people that are listening.
Yeah.
Please talk in depth about it. And I only sold it because I sold it to our video guy that does all of our shit. So it was an upsell.
Going to good use.
He's gonna use it much better than I'm gonna use it, and actually, so it goes towards me. So I wasn't mad about it.
Yeah.
But tell us.
So we got these. A couple of our guys at La Force got these to kind of test out to see if it's a avenue that we want to go for all of our DJs. But essentially, we use these for our ceremonies, and so they are these Bluetooth microphones and receiver, and it fits in this AirPods-like case. which
So
also
tight.
charges them. Like
So tight.
super sick.
So
Super cool.
I've heard about this legendary LaForce thing of all you guys using the Rhodes. Now,
Yeah.
comparably, is the Rode or the DJI, which one's better? Because I need to know. We
I like
wanted
the
to test them
DJIs.
recently. DJI is
DJI.
better.
I'd say DJI. I
Well, the
like it because
packaging's
it
better, but is the range and the signal better?
So I mainly switched from the Rhodes to the DJI because I was having some issues with dropouts, which is like a no-go when it comes to ceremonies. And it may have been because of the actual like lapel that I was using with the Rhodes that came with the Rhodes, which is obviously not good. So lately with my ceremonies, I've been running them just shotgun style. So just like clip the mic onto the officiant and let it go like that. And it works great. I have had 0 dropouts. But I got this, I can't remember what brand microphone, but it was like a $50, $60 lapel microphone that in my
Can you
next
send us that
ceremony.
link so that we
For
can
this
tag it?
microphone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we can tag it. Not right now, but
I'll
so
have
that
to
we can
find it
tag it
for
in the
you.
video. But so, okay, actually rewind a little bit. I want to know
Yeah.
start to finish what you're doing for ceremonies, because I'm going to have to obviously rebuy this because that's why I bought it in the first place.
So real quick, I'm going to make you big on the camera. So anybody that's listening, if you kind of want to see a little more about what this is that he's explaining, head over to the YouTube page and you can watch this all happen. So real quick, show us again what the product that you're using in this
Yeah.
case.
So it's this DJI microphone. So this is like the whole case, and then it opens up kind of like a pair of AirPods would. So inside you got, these are your microphones right here, and then this is the receiver. So you can just kind of plug in. There's an out right there. You plug that, and then get the cable that'll make it fit into your speaker, of course. And then this is your microphone, and you can legit just like clip this on like that, and it like clips on your shirt.
You don't even do an external mic. That's it for the officiant.
Yeah.
You just give it without
Yeah.
no external mic. You just
Es-
throw it
es-
on there. That's it.
Especially if it's outside. If it's outside, I'm gonna do it like this, because I'm not gonna have any sort of echo or anything like that. Outside, it sounds great. And it also comes with those like little covers for the shotgun right here. So you put it right there, and then you will
Like a
get
baby rabbit.
yeah, you'll get like 0 wind noise. But what's really cool about these is that they actually come with these little magnets on the back too. So I can essentially take this, drop it in my shirt, put the magnet on the outside, and I have a microphone under my shirt, and you would
So tight.
never see it because it's so small.
And what's the cost on that particular thing? Do you remember?
$350.
I think it's like 350. Yeah.
There you go, 350. So, and you guys solely use them. Well, not solely, but you use them for your receptions to mic up an officiant.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry, a ceremony. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can use these for ceremonies, but you can also use them as like a wireless zone speaker too, which is really cool. So instead of thinking of it as microphone and receiver, you can think of it as DJ booth, audio out, and receiver. So then you can have a speaker across the room play the same music that your DJ booth is playing from the same microphones that you used at the ceremony, which is super tight.
So explain to the audience, range wise, what are we looking at? How far can we put these? How far on the ceremony can you get with this? What are you doing?
I don't know the exact numbers on the range for the DJIs, but I want to say they're pretty comparable in terms of range with the Rhodes. I haven't noticed any dropout issues with the DJI specifically, especially without using a lapel microphone.
So
I'm usually like way in the back of the ceremony space when I use these two.
So if we're comparing them to Whataburgers, like how many Whataburgers, like distant wise, like can you put down before we're at our peak capacity?
100? 2?
Maybe 150 to 200 Whataburgers, like safely.
Dang!
That's a lot.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That is a lot.
So once again, one time for the one time. What are they called again?
They're the DJI or DJI microphones. I think that's just what they're called.
Awesome.
Yeah,
it is. But wait, before you jump onto that, he was going to show us that he uses them for ceremonies for Bluetooth speakers, but we didn't get to the original point of why we asked him about them was because he uses them as mics for his phone and show us it comes that little pocket. Yeah, that little kit comes with all of the adapters for you to put it into your phone. You put it all over the place.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they have
Mhm.
one. They have an iPhone one, and then they have a USB-C, and then you just kind of slide it into the bottom here, and then I can grab my phone, and then pop it in, and now I can see all my levels and all that kind of stuff, and yeah, get all the audio go straight to my phone. So like this is one way that you could, record live at an event and get the clean audio straight to your phone. And one other thing I'm using them for is getting live testimonials from the bride and the groom at the end of the event. I'll hook this up, put these microphones on the bride and groom, and they will say a testimonial of how much fun they had that night. And boom, I have a video of a bride and groom saying
And
nice things and post it online.
so on your video, it's going to use that mic, but does it record specifically to an app, or is it just going to use that? It's going to default to that mic so that you have a custom mic for your iPhone or whatever.
Yeah, it's just going to go straight to what you're recording too. So if you're just filming on the regular iPhone camera app, it's going to save to that original video in your camera roll.
Those things
That's
are pretty
dope.
cool. Yeah, a lot of multi-use things there with multi-use things there
They're
with
awesome,
those.
man.
Yeah. Is there any other technology, new tech that you're using? Anything else?
Let's see here. I did get the Rev 7 recently.
Mm-hmm.
Is that
That's
what you're
been-
using? Because I saw you have the whore board.
Yep.
You went with the whore board, and you have full turntables in there. And
Yeah.
what is it, S9?
I have an S11 and then the Rain 12 Mark IIs in the
Okay.
whole board.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that whore board's so heavy, and I can't even imagine how awful it is with that. How are you moving that? Is it in a custom case? Do you guys just transport it standing up in the van?
So we don't have a case quite yet for it. That's still something we need to look into. But I'm actually just leaving all the gear in it, and I pull a trailer to my event. So we bring it in. We actually have these like little wheels we can put it on and roll it around, so we're not lifting all this weight. But we put it in the trailer, and then we like strap it down really good. And that's really kind of how we move it around.
Nice. Any other tech? You talked the mic thing was genius. That's a must. That's the best thing advice I've gotten in a long time for tech. Camera, stands, anything else that you could mention for these guys and ladies?
The stand is cool. Let's see here.
Anything at the home? You mentioned you have nice lighting. Is that a lighting is a must? I'm guessing if you're at home, right? So
Yeah.
what's something that you could recommend for lighting?
I would say if you guys are doing a lot of Zoom calls, maybe meeting with potential clients or something like that, you should probably get like a really good light that's going to be right next to your camera. The one that I use that I just got recently is the Elgato Air light. And it's like a wireless light. You just plug it in and then you can control it with your phone. You can do like the brightness and the color temperature. And I actually have it mapped to my Stream Deck to where I could just like hit a button and like control everything just from here, which is super sick.
Is that what you have fused?
Yep. See, I'm getting brighter, getting darker, and then you can even adjust the color like you mentioned.
Yep.
So there you go.
So what I would like to say to anybody that was trying to get started with anything, Elgato basically wins on everything for me. It's like Anchor, how we recommend, cables and tablets and all the other stuff. Elgato, I'm using an Elgato camera. I'm using an Elgato mount right now. I do have that Stream Deck as well. They're just crushing the game. So anything Elgato, definitely.
Yeah.
Great recommendation.
Totally. One of the things that we wanted to talk to you about too was just working for LaForce and what that that working culture is like, and just a little bit about that business, like how many guys work for LaForce. Anything that you kind of want to share?
What's a day-to-day of family life?
Yeah. Um, day to day at LaForce, we have about around 30 DJs on our team. I'd say about 10 or so are legit full time. So like they only DJ at weddings. Some of them work in the office or do some production stuff for us. Um, and really, it's creating a really good atmosphere, work atmosphere is always super important. And we're constantly, creating ways for us to get together and share knowledge when it comes to DJing or other aspects of our job, and just really just trying to have a good time. You know.
So when I went up to Dallas and I spoke at LaForce and we all kind of hung out. Um, you like I said, I was telling everybody you have the camera. You guys were doing smoke bombs and like just outside of the box stuff. I mean, this is fuck 2018. What is that? I can't do math. I don't know.
4
Many
years.
moons ago. Many moons ago. um, are you now the social media guru? Is everyone just like, Justin, what do I do to become a somebody?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of questions about how to do this, how to do that, but I think, I can give all the advice of the world. I can literally tell you exactly what to do and how to do it, but it's not going to happen unless you try or unless you start or do it yourself. Um, like I can legit give you like every single piece of equipment that I use. And same thing for weddings too. I can give you my entire setup and you're going to DJ differently than I would. It's really about how you start and how you do it, and really just going from there, getting that experience for yourself.
So a little bit of me doesn't believe you because right when I was getting started, I called Fusamania and I was like, "Hey, can you give me your entire library so I could DJ just like you?" And he gave it to me, and I basically became Fusamania. It was overnight. It was overnight success, and I recommend anybody to hit up Justin and just see, hey, if you want to be like him, he'll just hand you over all the tools, and you could just skip school and learning and doing everything else.
Don't let Drew fool you. The only way to get my entire library is to get a Drew infused tattoo right on your butt crack. That's the only way that you get this entire library.
That's right. I forgot. We're starting the cult, the Drew and Fuse Show tattoo. We're taking over the crate hackers. We're basically telling them, they don't want anything to do with it. We want everything to do with it. So we're starting the Drew and Fuse Show tattoo. And once our Patreon launches, you're gonna get all of Fuse's not tattoos.
All the personal edits.
Personal tattoos. All of his personal edits.
Yeah,
Joking aside,
I've only made 20 personal edits. I just want to throw that out there. Only 20. So, and two, there's another rendition of the tattoo that you can get to. It can say Drew on one cheek and Fuse on the other. So it's a little more symmetrical if you're into that kind of thing.
So I have a question about that. So like if you have like let's say I get the Drew tattoo on one butt and then I have my friend get the Fuse, kind of like Tenacious D.
yes.
What happens when we do that?
The D, dude.
All the stars align and you get 40 personal edits.
It's a pick of destiny, man.
Yeah, Drew will send you 20 Drew Pierce personal edits. They might be like 30 seconds long and only made in a way that he can play them. So,
that being
said, be careful.
That being said, you guys don't want to front because once the Patreon drops, there might be custom videos involved as well. So we got some good shit coming along.
You might get you might get my my personal Bad Bunny video that plays. So Drew and I do some video DJing. I do video DJing every Friday. I have a personal Bad Bunny video that says you can stop holding your phone up now. I'm playing Bad Bunny, that plays on all the TVs when I'm playing a Bad Bunny song. And if you copy me, you DJs copy me out there, I'm coming for you. I know you heard it here first.
Work-life balance. I mean, you're busy. We're all busy. Everybody suffers from being busy. You're trying to be a TikTok, influencer and creator and do that's honestly, I think my brain shuts down once I have to try and be creative in that form. You're doing tons and tons of weddings. You're super busy. What's the work-life balance?
When it comes to work-life balance, I think the last couple of weeks has really been a struggle. I think I've just been, diving too deep into everything. And, lately it's just been kind of tough to manage everything and keep up with everything. So I've kind of reflected on some of the things that me mentally has put myself in charge of, or that I think that has to happen because I said so, not because anybody else says. I'm really looking at some of those things and, changing. Um, like for example, like I stream on Twitch 2 to 3 times a week for 2 to 3 hours every time. That's like 6 to 9 hours a week of time that I'm spending on Twitch when I could be, working on content, or I could be um, putting more working on getting my music more organized for my next upcoming wedding, or any other aspects, like really trying to understand like what's top priority for things, and what's kind of the lower things that might not need as much time allocated to it. So personally, I've looked into the amount of time I've been spending on Twitch, and gonna kind of navigate that time towards making more content for social platforms, but also going more heavily on creating the content for LaForce's social media platforms as well.
So we had someone Kova on recently, and he was talking highly about Twitch, and we had Shoni on talking about Twitch. I struggled with Twitch, and I know Fuse struggled with Twitch as well. Where I saw benefit, and maybe this is a great advice for DJs, is I instead of streaming and hoping that someone was tuning in, because that was like my biggest thing, is like having that tune in time. I basically took, instead of that, allocated time to record and record those sets, like custom sets, and I have them saved offline, and then I just use those as video content to share with brides and grooms. So I don't think you should get rid of the Twitch setup. I think there's other ways of allocating it and having setup and practice time, that if you could double down on Twitch and just record and just say, hey, this is a non-talking one, I'm just recording. If you want to watch, cool. If not, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And being able to share that, I've actually found that to be absolutely invaluable. Some of the videos that I've recorded for that. So just an option, just an
Yeah,
idea.
absolutely. And I'm not gonna give up on Twitch. I have, you know, all this Twitch stuff right next to me, and I care about doing it. And it's really an avenue to, um, I guess, like practice in an open scenario where people can watch and chat and all that kind of stuff too. It's just on top of it, like Twitch is just a different platform compared to so many others, where it's low discoverability. Like essentially, if you want someone to tune in, you have to already know them, or you have to be showing off your stream on other platforms like
Right.
Instagram or like TikTok or like Twitter or whatever else you use. And it's really hard to find specifically new clientele on Twitch. And I think that's more of something that I'm looking towards, when it comes to social media specifically. So I'm shifting my streaming time from Twitch to TikTok, and the reason why is because this past weekend I actually went live on TikTok during my wedding this past Saturday, and
Really?
I had 3,000 people tuned in
So
while I was
how
live at the wedding.
so I know TikTok, I just started seeing that they're doing stories, so they're also doing lives now, and
Mhm.
TikTok does not give no fucks when it comes to shadow banning songs. Like if you're flagging any songs or anything, they're just all game for everything. Sony likes them. Sony Music,
Yeah.
shout
TikTok
out
is the
Sony.
wild west right now for that kind of stuff.
And so you can do that there, huh?
Obviously I've streamed on TikTok plenty of times already, but I know lots of DJs who have also streamed on TikTok. And like it's kind of the same thing with Twitch. Like you're not really supposed to play music on Twitch, but like people still do it, and like there's so many DJs on
Right.
Twitch that
But Instagram was totally shutting it down, and
Oh no,
Facebook and
yeah,
YouTube,
man.
and TikTok seems to, you know, just look the other way. And I guess that's the same way as what you're saying. So it's interesting.
yeah,
Good to
yeah.
That's because it was made in China. Come on, Drew. Get with it.
Actually, I have a question. I don't know who I was talking with this about, but something that bugs me about a stream on a phone is that it's a stream on a phone. I can't do anything else. So when I go to look at a phone, my ADD kicks in, and which is TikTok is ADD, right? It's ADD's life. So if someone tunes in, at all points I want to swipe and do something else. It won't just like continue playing, right? It's just gonna drop. So people have to like turn it on and leave it, you know?
Hmm. I believe so. I don't think that there's a picture-in-picture mode for TikTok. If there is,
Unless
that'd be a great idea.
unless they went on the website, then that's a possibility. But
Yeah.
otherwise, okay.
It's so bizarre to me though on TikTok. It like just and I think it's just dudes are bizarre to me in general because like on TikTok there'll be a chick and she'll be live and she'll be like, "All right, I'm rating your profile pictures from 1 to 10." And like then on like the background it'll be like 1 is ugly and 10 being the cutest guy ever, and then like through and guys will just be like blowing it up, right? And there'll be like 300 or like 300,000 people on this girl's rate my profile pic, rate my like it's just so bizarre to me that like that gets people, and then like it can be a struggle to get people for somebody that's DJing and that. So it's very bizarre. And in terms of too, what's bizarre with TikTok is like you could post videos, and like I said, some do super well and some don't. I don't understand their it seems like their algorithm is constantly changing, just kind of like Instagram's is, and I don't have it figured out in terms of, I think that's the hardest part of anything is trying to figure it out, but I kind of forget where I'm going with this. Sorry, it's late here.
I do have a question, Fused.
Yeah.
Something that we forgot to ask a little bit earlier is, and Fuse touched on this, and one of the questions that he had was know where you're going with it, know your lane, know what you're building on, what you're going for. What have you seen? We talked about the Whataburger combo, $20, right? But that's not what you're going for. You're not trying to get paid by Instagram doing $20 fucking things. You want to get booked. Ultimately, you want to get more weddings and you want to get more of these things. So, what have you seen come back? Are you seeing brides like, oh my God, that was amazing? Can you tell me more? Or are you just seeing DJs going, how can I completely rip you off like every other DJ does for everything in life? Because
Yeah.
DJs are a bunch of rip-off artists.
And yeah, to just kind of add what he's saying, yes, this content that you might be doing might be getting you slightly paid from Instagram, but let's be honest, the $20 that I'm getting, isn't going to change my life. But however, the time that you're putting into this and the work that you're putting into this, it is a lot of work. Are you seeing the return on that investment that you're making with your time?
I think I am, honestly, because I'll get DMs here and there from people that are interested in having a DJ for their event. Some will book, some won't, just like anybody else who's inquiring for their event. But it's also, not only is it a way to put yourself in front of those potential clients, but it's also like a portfolio of who you are and what you can offer for that person at their event. And I think for the most part, like that is the biggest thing. Because like in our market, specifically at LaForce, like we're one of the bigger companies here in the Dallas area. And so we have tons of vendors that are just like, oh, you need a DJ, LaForce, like out the gate, like just go with LaForce, don't bother. And so people will come to the company, and then I can use those social platforms as another portfolio for them. But I definitely do get tons of DMs from people that are interested. Like for example, when I streamed on TikTok, not the one at my wedding, but I streamed on TikTok at my house the other day. I had somebody in my chat like, "Oh my God, my sister's getting married. You live in Texas, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then we exchanged info and went from there. So like it's definitely a really good inquiry source if you know what to do and how to put yourself out there.
Are you getting any out of state inquiries? How is that building? Yeah, just curious. Is it mostly
I've had a
local
couple.
stuff? Yeah.
I'd say it's mostly local, but I've had a couple that are out of state. Um, and when it comes to inquiries, like I always lead straight into the price, because a lot of people immediately like, oh wait, that's your rate, never mind. Like it, there's a lot of people that are going to be, that's the one thing that they care about, of course. And then there's also going to be a ton of people who think that they want this DJ or want this thing at their wedding, and then they see the price and they're like, oops, never mind, I can't afford that. So I, a lot of times that's kind of my first thing, is I immediately go right into, okay, this is what I offer and this is how much it costs. And if they keep talking, perfect. And if they ghost me, perfect.
It's smart, because I was really like toying with Facebook ads a little while back and dumped a bunch of money into it, and all of them were like, "Hey, it's a backyard party here," and I was like, "You are not the right client."
Yep.
Yeah. Totally. I mean, it's like when you bring business cards to an event, and I'm all for having business cards, but you're at an event that you might not typically do, and tons of people are like, "Oh man, you're great. Let me get a card." And you're like, "Oh man, like this is not, I can already tell this is not like it's just not going to work out." And sometimes it bees like that.
Yeah. And it's the same for posting on social media too. Like if you want to do those high class weddings, you need to post that shit all day long. And if you get booked for a country backyard wedding and you don't want to do that, put your phone in your pocket. Don't post anything. Don't take a selfie. Like don't do anything. Like, because what you post is what you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's the
Totally.
same as the saying of dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Post for the
Yep.
job you want, not the job you have. And I think
100%.
there's something to be said for that. There's something to be said kind of for that fake it until you make it. In that realm. I wouldn't even say that's faking it. You're just trying to set yourself up for something bigger and better and more out of your career. And I think
Yeah.
that there's nothing wrong with that at all. So
What I haven't told anybody is I go to other people's weddings and just basically fake it. I take a bunch of pictures like, "Hey, look at me," and then I clip up myself into it. So faking it,
to
working
just
on
a
it.
picture of Drew behind the decks, like
Snap the photo and then you're out. He just
No, it's a
goes around
picture.
town.
Awesome.
I love
Well,
it.
we appreciate you coming on with us today. One of the things before we go, we're going to wrap here in just a few minutes. We want to make sure that you hit all your socials, and you want to tell the listeners that you're going to be starting your own podcast as well. So let us know your socials and what they can look for in that podcast as well.
Yeah. So you could find me on all social platforms, just in the DJ. And that's really how you can find me for all that kind of stuff. But I'm really going to be starting my own podcast. It's titled the Social DJ Podcast, and basically what it's going to be a blend of social media advice and mindset shift, and um, kind of tips and tricks here and there, but really from a DJ's perspective, in order to help DJs really elevate themselves on social media, and I guess boost themselves to make them more of a expert in the industry that they want to thrive in. And really, that's the whole goal, is to really help the community as a whole, and try and make it to where we just see a crap ton of awesome DJs on social media and really take over this whole industry.
Awesome.
love
There
it.
you have it. One more time. What's it going to be called?
It's going to be called the Social DJ Podcast.
Awesome. Well, I think that's pretty much going to wrap for today. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us here and share some information and share what it's taken for you to grow your social media platform. I think there's a lot of valuable information in what you've had to say, and a lot of guys are going to find it really interesting. So I just want to say thank you for being on the podcast with us today.
Sure, guys.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Keep crushing the game. Keep drinking those LDs,
Yeah.
and yeah,
That's
Get it.
That's going to
keep it
be it.
going, man.
So one more time to reiterate, if you use promo code DrewInfuse it'll get you 30% off your first month at Direct Music Service. So if you're looking for DJ edits and you haven't signed up yet, use that promo code. It'll get you 30% off your first month. If you're looking to buy the the Club Cannon, if you're looking to elevate your weddings or elevate your event or elevate your nightclub or bar, make sure you check out Club Cannon as well. Also, in the description of the video on YouTube, we will have a link for the photo booth supply company that'll help out the show. And if you buy a photo booth using that link, Drew will send you a Drew Infused t-shirt.
Actually, I have an idea, Fuse. I got an idea. Let's try this. All right. Are you ready?
All right.
Basically, if you guys want to start using something, just put Drew Infused Show inside of all of the coupon codes. Okay. It's not going to work for you at all, but then that company might reach out to us and give us a discount code. So just start putting that in everywhere you shop. And
Walmart, Target, whatever.
Whataburger.
Whataburger. Hey, I was told if I roll up to this drive-through that I just say Drew Infused and you get a free cheeseburger.
Let's see what happens. Maybe the guy's like, I don't give a shit, and just give it to you. So
yeah,
it might work out for you.
Tattoos.
Well, shout out to everybody that's been listening. Keep tagging us in the Liquid Death. Keep all of the challenges coming. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Justin, for being on, and we'll see you guys soon.
Yep. See ya.
See ya.
Peace.